Hello, Gormlands. Welcome to another Gorm show. It's Saturday night, and I'm your host, Gormy. It's been ages since I spoke to you last. Hope you have all been well. I've been outside enjoying the sunshine and trying to avoid the football. When I was at school, all my classmates used to say that I looked like a football, and then they would kick me. So I just tried to avoid it these days. I prefer cycling. Speaking of which, why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? I was too tired. Well, anyway, that's enough for me. The boys are here with some chat and some music. I'll see you all later. Bye!
Hello, we're live.
Hello everyone, how's it going?
We're taking
Mr.
over
Cook?
from Gormy.
You're looking awfully suave there this evening.
Oh, thank you, Duncan. I always try to look my best when I know you're back in town.
Oh, thank you. It's appreciated.
How was the court case?
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. You pay good money for a good lawyer, you'll be all right. Well, folks, welcome wherever you are in this beautiful world that we're living in. God bless wherever you may be. I am the Friday Night Messiah, returning to deliver you from the sordid sin and evil that this world is filled with. And joining me, as always, two of my most loyal disciples. They came with me into the Garden of Olives, where I bestowed upon them the secret information known only to the closest Gorms. But soon, all of you will also bear witness to that forbidden knowledge. Jack, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Messiah. I'm here in the.
Don't start calling them that,
I'm
for
here,
goodness
I'm
sake.
here in the studio. I've got a guy in here today. First time in the studio, Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's folk royalty you've got there.
Well, it's interesting because I don't think I'd normally be what he goes for this kind of production, but he got this really good opportunity he got commissioned to do a dubstep album, and he's never had that opportunity before, so he thought he would get me to help him out with that, make a few beats, so he can sort of lay down some fire lyrics over it.
Hot.
And yeah, it's going pretty well. I mean, he's a really weird guy. He demands that I put up this weird LED screen with kind of leaves on it, but like it's all broken up and it's all static. It's really weird, and he stares at it for an hour and then he does his take. So that's,
Is he still
that's what I'm doing.
still based in Donegal?
He is. He flew in the other day from Donegal. I mean, he doesn't seem to have any restrictions, no quarantine or anything.
Well, he's like a visiting dignitary. It's the same when sort of prime ministers and stuff come over. They don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. So that's great, man. I'm really glad to hear he's doing well, and you as well. That's a match made in heaven. I look forward to hearing that. I'm still waiting on my copy of the Dave Grohl and Jimmy Lennon thing that you were working on, and the other one with Jimmy Nail, I think it was as well. So
Jimmy
Rolling
Nail.
Jimmy Nail.
Crocodile shoes, was it?
It was.
Duncan,
Yes.
you're back.
I'm back. Aye, I got back on Saturday, the 12th, which is almost a week ago. It is a week ago, in fact. Still in quarantine. Still tested negative.
Is that
so,
for
you know.
rabies or?
I haven't been tested for that, but there's some fairly obvious symptoms of that. So should they arise, I'll make sure and get tested. But I haven't been bitten by a rabid dog, so I'll probably be okay.
Hey, I'm pleased to hear it. Well, I hope now that you're back, we've been missing you. You know, it's been busy streaming every day for the past couple of weeks without you. But now that you are back, I hope you'll be taking control of the drive time viewers with their faxes and MMSs that'll be coming in.
Absolutely.
I've been running that while you're away, and it's hectic. It's a lot harder than I made it out to be. I made a right cock up of it most nights, to be honest with you. So, do we have any of our close? I mean, I'm sure there'll be thousands of viewers.
Which
but,
of our esteemed Gormlings are in?
Well,
tonight?
we've got Stuart Love of Ensign Urt fame. He just says simply "Hairy Mary."
Hallelujah.
That's absolutely. That's something that we can echo here. Ken's in the house. He says, "A gourmet seeks out food of elaborate quality, and a gourmand desires to sup on excessive quantity. We Gormlings simply favour a fine fare of mincing music to accompany our drink in irreverence. Happy Saturday. The dinner bell is ringing, and I'm looking forward to hear a hearty serving."
I like it, Ken.
Channeling Burns there, an ode to a Gorm.
Good stuff. That was couldn't really. We should have that as the intro to the show, but in a Star Wars like crawl.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Opening crawl.
In a pub in Edinburgh a long time ago. Daniel Spee says, "Happy Saturday, Gormlings."
Hello,
Caroline
Daniel.
Lee Smith's here. Happy
Hello,
Saturday,
Caroline.
folks. It's nice to be a Gormlin again for another night.
It is.
Absolutely. We're
Missed it
coming
last
to you on a different day and a different time from usual, because we thought we were going to try and be clever and avoid clashing with the football, and then we ended up clashing with the football anyway. So sorry to all our German fans who would rather be watching the football.
I know that our German fans will be watching us, but I feel sorry that they would have liked to have got a chance to see their national team. But
so we shouldn't tell you what the score is then. No, of course not. David Lee Smith's here as well. Well, after the heroic endeavours of our proud Scottish lads thrown off the yoke of the English tyranny last night, it's a pleasure to be here with our Gormlin fraternity. Cheers
well
to
said.
that.
Cheers, Ken.
Well said.
Is that Ken?
No, that was David Lee Smith.
Oh, David. Thanks, David.
Take me to the promised land, he also says. Caroline says, "Jack, is that Daniel O'Donnell on your t-shirt? Not aging too well."
It's John C. Reilly. There you go.
Excellent. Has he got a new movie coming out, or?
No, he's not paying me to wear it.
That's a
I just
shame.
have
You
it.
you should email him and ask him for some money.
John
So
C.
you're
Reilly
advertising
got
it
in touch
on
with
such
me.
a popular platform.
Yeah, to advertise his film by wearing a t-shirt of his face on the Gorms stream.
Well, David Lee Smith says, "Hey Jack, is that a Stargate behind you?"
It might be, actually. That might be why Daniel O'Donnell's so transfixed by it. That it's a portal.
He's trying to figure out the missing symbol.
I did see a kind of weird hand coming through. It was like an Egyptian. It had some kind of Egyptian rings and stuff on it, and then it just went back in.
Ooh, spooky.
Keep an eye on that then.
Maybe you can impart some of your expertise on that subject later on, Mr. Cook. Anyway, Daniel Spee says, "Oh yeah, of course, we had big news. If you weren't already aware, the printed CDs of our latest album are available." Daniel says he received my copy of Not For Glory Nor Riches, been playing it all week in my car.
Not For Glory, that's our third album, Daniel.
That was the third one, yeah. Sorry, I misread.
Oh,
What's
you
the new one
got it
again?
wrong, that's okay.
Times
of Trial.
Times of Trial's the new one. But actually, that's not related to what Daniel's saying. He's saying he's been listening to Not For Glory Nor Riches.
I hope you enjoyed our third album, Daniel.
Well, it is a great record, and I will tell you folks, at the moment, they are selling like hotcakes. In fact, I just put in a big order for several of the records myself, just because I'm worried that they're going to sell out so fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we play a tune and then play a bit of music, and then maybe we could do a kind of QVC style section where we show the album and let everybody see how luxurious it is.
That's a great idea.
Okay, let's go for it. I've got Matty Groves here.
Hello, Matty.
On the line. He's waiting to talk to you.
On the line. Hello, I've slipped and broke my ankle.
That's more.
A holiday, and the first month of the year. Lord Donald's wife came into the church, the gospel forth to hear. Aye, when the meat on it was done, she cast her eyes about, and there she saw little Matty Groves walking in the crowd. Come home with me, little Matty Groves, come home with me tonight. Come home with me, little Matty Groves, and sleep with me tonight. I can't come home, I won't come home and sleep with you tonight. By the rings on your fingers, I can tell you are Lord Donald's wife. But if I am Lord Donald's wife, Lord Donald's not at home. He's away in the far green lands, bringing the innards home. A servant that was standing by and hearing what was said, he swore Lord Donald he would tell before the sun had set. And when he came to the far green glades, he took off his shoes and he ran. When he came to the far green stream, he took off his shoes and he swam. Matty put his little head down and he took himself some sleep. When he awoke, Lord Donald was standing at his feet, saying, how do you like my feather bed, and how do you like my sheets? How do you like my lady gay that lies in your arms asleep? Well, yes, I like your feather bed, and yes, I like your sheets, but better I like your lady gay that lies in my arms asleep. Ah, get up, Lord Donald cried. Get up as quick as you can. It'll never be said in fair England I killed a naked man. I can't get up, I won't get up, I can't get up for my life. For you have two long beaten swords and I not a pocket knife. Well, it's true I have two beaten swords and they cost me deep in the purse. But you will have the better of them and I will have the worse. And you will strike the very first blow and strike it like a man. I will strike the very next blow and I'll kill you if I can. Well, Matty struck the very first blow and he hurt Lord Donald sore. Lord Donald struck the very next blow and Matty struck no more. Well then Lord Donald to his wife spoke for all to see. He says, who do you like the best of us now, Matty Groves or me? And then up spoke his own true wife, never known to speak so free. I'd rather a kiss from dead Matty's lips than you and your finery. Well, Lord Donald took a stand, loudly he did bawl. He struck his wife right through the heart, pinned her against the wall. A grave Lord Donald cried to put these lovers in, but bury my lady at the top, for she was of noble kin.
There you go. Matty Groves.
Welcome back, folks. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a classic folk song there, probably from south of the border, it's fair to say, but its origins always open to dispute. Matty Groves, a timeless classic, performed by the local Edinburgh folk act known as the Gorms, and that's a song they've been playing for quite a while. In fact, it might even be on one of their records. Duncan, did you ever pick up a record by the Gorms?
I believe I have in my possession 3 of those albums as recorded by the Gorms. I'm yet to receive my 4th one, my new one, but I'm looking forward to that because the other ones, they just, every one blew my mind.
So basically, there's a missing slot in your CD collection.
There is.
It needs filled.
It needs filled.
And so what would
the other 3 are looking lonely now that they know there's a 4th sibling just waiting to be added to the family.
And what would you say if I told you the new one arrived? The physical copy.
Oh my goodness! It's like
I wouldn't believe it.
The best day of my life.
It's not this one. It's not that one. That's
one.
our second album. That's a good one.
I do own a copy of that one.
And this is kind of like this is me showing you the run up to the new one. See, so a lot of people will be familiar with this.
A lot of people.
And I can't open this one because it's shrink wrapped. And I actually asked for the new ones to be shrink wrapped, but they didn't arrive that way. So that was a bit disappointing. But here we go.
So you cut the
drum
price,
roll.
Sir?
Have you got any kind of sample that any kind of sound?
I don't have a drum roll.
Maybe just
But
you could tune into the audience and let us know what they're saying. There we are. Look at that. This is the new Gorms album, Times of Trial, and it's so if you have a look at that, it's perfectly symmetrically square cover.
Oh, that's beautiful.
For a
And look
start.
at that shine. Look at that shine. It's so in right now.
The brightness shines right off it. Look, like light shines right off it if you put it on. So that's good.
amazing.
It kind of works as a torch reflector.
Yeah.
You can
So if
see
you
we're
can-
on there. It's to show who plays on it. So as we see that, well, first of all, let's look at the spine. It's lovely
The
bespoke.
Gorms, yeah.
Bespoke sort of italic font there, and then the Gorms it says GRM04, which means it's our 4th album on the Gorms record label, which doesn't exist. And then
Don't tell anyone that. It's supposed to be QVC selling the thing.
And then if you have a look at the back, that tells you what songs are on the album. Now, you can see there's a song called Johnny Lad. I mean, most of you who are watching here probably already heard this album about half a year ago. But who doesn't like this physical version? And then if you open it up here, this is where we really get into the go on a deeper dive into the CD package.
What are all those words that I can see at the bottom of the inside cover?
So first of all, I'll just show you the CD itself. Oh, look, it's got a weird green thing.
It seems to have become quantumly
what
entangled with the
happened
Stargate.
What happened there? So you can see that it looks like this is part of the packaging here with the very, really quite beautiful design here, I would say. And if you move it, look at this. Like if you sort of do that, it's not. Look at that. So it's
My goodness.
really well made. And then
Optical illusion.
if you take that out, look, there's a secret other photo of us. So it's just glorious. And then, this tells you all the people who play on the album. So Stuart Cook, Jack Weir, Duncan Knight, people like that. Some other people as well. Dominic Blakey, Archie McFarlane, Chris Lyons, Rachel Walker. And then if you have a look here, there's a massive thank you list. So let's see if any of you can see yourself on there.
I think I can see my name, Jack. It's very small, but I think I can see my name. Is that right?
Oh, look at that. I can see loads of names there.
Lovely, bespoke print.
So who are all these thank yous to?
Anyone, well, with a cut-off of a certain point, because we don't have, infinite space on the CD cover, but most of the people who have supported us over the last year, certainly within...
Or our Gormling fans.
Basically all the Gormlings, and
All
I'm
the
really hoping we
Gormlings,
didn't
yes,
miss
that's-
anyone. But there's a lot of Gormlings thanked on the package.
Well, I think we should have a round of applause to the Gormlings for making that possible. Thank you so much for your support, folks. All your support really making that possible. I got to say, fantastic finish. That product looks, it looks delectable. I know in this day and age, you've got to be careful of what you say, but it looks sexy.
It is.
When I see a product like that, Jack, when I see a beautiful, exclusive piece of production such as that, Duncan, it makes me want to hear music. It makes me want to jump up and dance. And I wonder if you could help me out with that, Jack.
Well, I've got a song lined up here that might help with that. By the disco queen herself, Lady Nairn.
Ah.
So here we go. Will you no come back again?
Oh, it's one of my favourites.
Bonnie Charlie's new awa, safely o'er the friendly main. Muddy's the heart with brack and twa. Should he no come back again? Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose you can't be. Will you no come back again? They trusted you, your healing men. You trusted them, brave Shirley. They kent your hiding in the glen. Oh, death and exile braving. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose you can't be. Will ye no come back again? English bribes were all in vain. They'll put away hoy sipur. Silver doesn't by the heart. Let's beat an eye for the mat. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose you can't be. Will ye no come back again? They watched you in the morning hour. Oh, they watched you in the loaming grave. 30,000 reward, but for a prince none would betray. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose you can't be. Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose you can't be. Will ye no come back again? Well, this song comes from a long, long time ago, much older than any of those songs we've been playing for you already. A few of Edinburgh's top spelunkers, they were spelunking quite recently. In fact, some of those spelunkers I mentioned, they're actually playing on this record you're listening to at the moment. And we thank you for that, we do. Anyway, they were under what's called the Castle Rock, which is a big hill in the middle of Edinburgh. And they were spelunking hard, all the group of them, and they found what appears to be a cave painting. Now, you'd have to guess 5,000 BC. Just as a guess, 5,000 BC is probably when we date this one to, which would mean it was written perhaps by a Votadini, a Verdoni tribesman. Now, what it says, it's hard when you've got to translate these things, but luckily I am an expert in translating old Pictish symbols, so I've come up with what I believe to be quite an accurate interpretation of this old painting. Now, it appears that the whole thing is a story, or a bit of a song, that was scribbled on what may have been an ancient urinal back under Castle Rock. And it translates very roughly as, Jonathan, you are drunk, or Johnny, you're an alcoholic, or something along those lines. But we've decided to go with Johnny, be drunk. And it appears that the song was written by a fellow called Charles Berry. Not a very common name, but perhaps some distant ancestor of a slightly lesser-known member of the Berry family. I hope you enjoy this one.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I agree, Duncan. I agree. But I think, if she's going to go for it and he feels that way as well, then I don't see a problem with it at all.
Yeah, it's not a big operation.
Well, anyway, folks.
Hey, sorry.
I hope you're doing good. I know that you've been sending in some wonderful live chats. We've been receiving them on Tinder, Grindr, all the usual platforms, as well as in MMS and Fax. So, Duncan, we send over to you down in the it looks like in a sort of blues bar or something. I don't know what's behind you, but we'll get to that later, I guess.
I'm sure some very clever Gormlings can figure out what it's all about. I don't have a track teaser, so I'm just playing with historical photos. If you don't know who that is, I'm not surprised. Don't worry.
Before that, could I say thanks very much to Ken Longfellow, who's watching right now. He just bought a copy of the new Gorms CD, so we'll get that sent to him.
Slange Ken.
All the way to San Diego.
Cheers, Ken. Thank you.
Well, Ken is here in the chat. He's saying, this beautiful cake of a song features lovely piping. Mary Berry is proud.
Who's this Paul Hollywood?
Yeah, so on that note, Ken sent us an email. So I'll start off. Jack, I thought the intro you gave us was stunning. I want more like it. This close-up fingering was right brilliant. What was it you played to Dark Island, eh?
Yeah, I can do more silly stuff like that. But we'll be back to playing live next time.
Aye, that's right. Next Friday at the normal time, because there's no football, we'll play another live set. So make sure you tune in and watch that.
Yes.
Ken was talking about his baking. If you're probably aware, he does send in pictures and recipes occasionally. But he says, my bakes are amazing. Tell Paul Hollywood, in brackets, something else, to reimagine his recipes. Ken Longfellow is here. Has anyone tried Ken's recipes? I haven't yet.
Yeah, I had some of them. It was pretty good stuff.
I made myself some chocolate flapjacks. So they aren't actually your recipe, Ken, but I can send you that if you want. If you want type 2 diabetes, then I can give you that.
Should I put Paul Hollywood up on the screen?
Why not?
Yeah, good.
Just in case, because I wasn't sure who he was, but now I know.
Well,
let's get him up here.
He's Ken's nemesis. He presents Bake Off, is it?
I'm not sure. He looks a bit sinister. There he is. Paul Hollywood. So that's him on the screen there. Might just leave him there for a while.
Okay. Right, so anyway, that's Paul Hollywood. David Lee Smith's asking if there's any chance of vinyl presses.
There is as much as a chance of that as I would say one of us going to the moon within the next year.
So it's not very likely. I think we need to be more famous before we start doing extravagant things like printing in every conceivable form.
Apparently the vinyl industry is in a bit of a bad spot at the moment. They're all delayed for a long time, so you can wait 6 months to get your vinyls pressed and things.
It's all moving to like CD and stuff, isn't it?
It's going into the new technology.
Format of the future, CDs.
Well, the next one's going to be mini disc.
Of course, that makes sense. Get smaller, right?
Yeah, it's like the future.
I mean, yeah, because a vinyl's quite big. Probably should think about downsizing those things.
Actually, I think I've got a mini disc player right there.
Oh my goodness, he's got technology from the future. Caroline Lee Smith says, so Gorms, how's the live music going? You been playing much? Well, I don't know about used to, but I've been in Vienna, and then I got back on Saturday, and I've been in quarantine ever since. So I've had time to practice, but I haven't been able to get out playing since my last gig on Friday, which was very good, by the way, in Baden, Austria.
Nice.
How about you? Any?
Yeah, well, we played some shows in the Piper's Rest in Edinburgh, but with the football season starting up, We got sidelined for that. So not too much gigs just yet, but we'll see what happens. The Delta Force variant is coming flying in at the moment, but I think I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the name of the disease, but I think Chuck Norris is going to get it sorted out for us, and then we'll see what happens later on. The fringe.
Why didn't they just get Chuck Norris to fight the virus in the first place? Because this would have all been over long ago, right?
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying, but now it's looking like Chuck Norris made the virus, apparently. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I
Still
don't know.
Probably the best person to fight it, though.
Well, I think so, but I mean, can Chuck Norris defeat Chuck Norris?
Well, that's a question for the Gormans to answer. I don't think the three of us could answer that on our own.
So that's what's been happening there, Caroline. But yeah, thanks for asking.
Oh, well,
Thank
Ken's actually advertising on our behalf here, saying, I understand I'll be live at the Piper's Rest on July 10th.
All right. Well, you know better than me, Ken. July 10th. Let's see, when's that? All right. So what's that in a month? In 3 weeks?
It's getting closer. Getting closer to real gig season, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get out busking sometime soon. And then we'll have a live stream for you, a live stream for you.
Real
next
live
Friday,
stream.
when we play all together. David's saying, boys, I have to say that one of our favourite things is to listen to the Gorms of Edinburgh playlist while cooking in the kitchen on Spotify. It has all the Gorms classics, but played by other artists. When will actual Gorms get actual Gorms on Spotify?
Well, the thing about that is that we have to pay Spotify and we get no money. So, that what's in it for us? That's what I want to know.
We do host our music, or we have our music hosted on Bandcamp, which I think we've mentioned. That's the place where you can buy the albums, but that's also a streaming service. And we use that one like many artists because it's simply fairer to the artist.
I know that no judgment on anyone who uses Spotify, though. It is it's pretty convenient. But yeah, we're not on there.
But we might be going to the moon later this year, so you never know.
Just got an email saying that Eileen Mullen has just bought her new album.
Thank you,
on
Eileen.
CD.
Enjoy
this is
that.
great. I'm gonna get these boxes out of my place. Eventually.
Good idea.
Thanks very much, Eileen.
David Lee Smith says he will be, and Caroline presumably as well, will be in Caledonia on July the 10th. So I think you've got a ready-made audience.
Hey, book a table.
Come to see you. Book a table.
That'd be real nice. Yeah, I hope so.
Tricia D. Hall Newland is here. She says, hi, everyone.
Hello.
Ken's going on about someone cheating, but I don't know who. We'll leave it at that. David Lee Smith says, please play Caledonia. Is that on your track list tonight, Jack, or is that...
It isn't, no, unfortunately.
It's alright. I'm sure we've got loads of other amazing tunes.
So, yeah, sorry about that. No, I'm joking. I can put it on. I can figure it out.
Well, we were talking about Reddit earlier, Jack, before the stream started. We have a new follower, a new listener. Gun Signet Dunham is here. Came here from Reddit. You can thank your mandolin learner for bringing in some more viewers. So there you go. Your mandolin video.
What was their name? Sorry.
Gun Signet Dunham. I don't know if I pronounced the last part correctly, but welcome.
Well, it was me. I was the mandolin practicer. And I was on Reddit, and I told people to come here. So, I'm sorry if you thought we were going to be playing live music. We're going to be doing that next week. But stick around and follow us. Become a Gormling.
And we can put on some of our music.
Should we get some music on now?
I think it's about time for some tunes, aye.
What about... Shall we try and...
Technical issues.
Let's do Johnny, I Hardly Knew You, and then I'll try and line up Caledonia for after.
Okay.
Great.
Let's
Civil War anthem. Excellent.
While on the road to Sweden-Thai, hurrah, hurrah. While on the road to Sweden-Thai, hurrah, hurrah. While on the road to Sweden-Thai, with a gun in my hand and a glint in my eye, a darling damsel I did spy. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the eyes that look so mild, when my heart you first beguiled. Oh, why did you run from me and my child, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. God almighty, what a racket. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the legs you used to run, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the legs you used to run, when first you left to carry a gun. Your dancing days are surely done, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't got an armour like hurrah, hurrah. You haven't got an armour like hurrah, hurrah. You haven't got an armour like your nose is bone, this chicken was egg. Well, after bit out a boulder bag, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya.
We're
And
live
we're back.
again. Seamless.
Seamless.
Thank you to Daniel Spee for buying our new... is it the CD that you bought? Yes, it is. Thanks very much, Daniel.
Cheers, Daniel.
Daniel,
Much
drink that.
appreciated.
So I'll go quickly back to the messages before we move on. Gunsigner Dunham says, "Ha, all good. Enjoying the music in whatever form it comes." And thank you for that. And the pronunciation was actually pretty good. Well, that's good, because we quite often get these things all confused. Caroline Lee Smith says, "If we book a table for the 10th, will you make Paul Hollywood go away?" Jack, maybe it's time to make the strange man.
Should I do
disappear off
cool
the screen.
things to the
And I
image
mean
of...
Paul Hollywood, not the other one.
Hang on, I'm gonna... Before we do that, let's see what we can do with Paul Hollywood. Oh, look. He's looking pretty evil now.
That's the magic of live TV.
There he is. Stuart can't see that, but Duncan can. But that's okay.
It's he looks like what was his name? David Dickinson.
He does. He looks like... Remember this guy who... Do you remember a TV show that was on Sundays? And I always remember Sundays because you know how you'd get that sort of before school blues on a Sunday night. You know, I always had to have my bath and things like that.
Aye.
And it was some show called Pie in the Sky.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And
that.
I have this weird sort of... This thing, you know, like family entertainment, or they would put the more light-hearted comedies or the less rude ones on a Sunday night for the families. And it would be like that, or what was that other thing? As Time Goes By.
Aye.
And Birds of a Feather. And all these ones that were actually like quite deeply sad. There was some... there was something about them. They always had like theme tunes that were actually really sad. And it always added to my not wanting to go to school the next day. But yeah, he looks a bit like that guy in Pie in the Sky.
I'm trying to remember what the actor's name is.
He was
been in
actually
loads
in
of
Naked
stuff.
Gun too.
He's
as
been
well.
in loads of stuff. Aye.
Oh, David Lee Smith just bought something. You just bought the digital albums of Not for Glory nor Riches and Legend, Lore, and Lost Weekends.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks so much, David.
For that.
Much appreciated.
Well, we've got some more chat. Trisha D's saying, I just love Stu's growl and Johnny. It's just so cool. And Gun Cygnus says, boyfriend's wondering if he's going Super Saiyan. Saiyan.
We're getting there. The liquor's talking.
No, Ken, it's not Leslie Nielsen. It's a British actor. Let me see.
Leslie Nielsen's in Naked Gun, though. That's what I said. It's this guy is in Naked Gun too.
Leslie Nielsen, I'll drink to that.
This is like riveting. I'm glad you tuned into this, folks.
Well, Duncan, you know the book club is always a very popular part of the Gorms stream.
It is, yes.
So I had a book that was sent in to me this week, from one of our viewers up in the northeast of Scotland. So it's one it's just come out. It was just published this year. So it's a bit of light reading, this one, which I'm sure I'll give you a go of afterwards. It's called The Apocryphal Gospels.
Oh, aye. The ones that are not canon.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a new
is
translation.
That like Star Wars?
It's a bit more like Stargate. Much more like Stargate. But, or I guess it would be the Babylon 5 to Deep Space Nine kind of thing. But it's just come out. It was actually written, or the translation's done by a chap called Coleridge. What was it again? Simon Gathercole, who was the head of the theology department up in the University of Aberdeen. So always interested to see what they're working on up in the northeast of Scotland, the quite strict Calvinist ideas. But it's cracking, and I wanted to share you with this. There's a lot of great pictures in this. I mean, there's a lot of words that I haven't read, but some of the pictures are fantastic. And this is from the book called The Infancy Gospel of Thomas. So that's little J that you're seeing over there. So that's obviously him up at the top with the halo on him. And this is one of the stories when he's a youngster and he was making clay birds and bringing them to life. It's a cracking story from the 2nd or 3rd century. And as well as making clay birds, he's killing people. He's bringing people back to life. It's awesome. And I thought interesting to do the comparison, because sometimes people say, was he real? Did he exist? But you can see a picture there. Okay. And there he is now.
Well, what more proof do you need?
So I really enjoyed it. It's got a cool picture on the front as well, which is, this is when they were trying to figure out if someone was a virgin. So this is the high priest. And he said, I can tell you if they're virgins. You need to get them to squat on top of these wine casks, and then I'll sniff their breath. And the one that I can sniff the wine through is obviously not a virgin. And if I can't sniff the wine, then they are. So I'd recommend it. It's a good one from Aberdeen as well. It's nice to see the Aberdeen Theology Department recognised. So that was this week's book club, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of complaints about the Babylon 5 episode review book, so we won't be going down that line again. And similarly, the musical programs, probably leave those off the table for a while. So let us know in the chat if you prefer this sort of bent, more modern books. This is kind of up to the date. And of course, you can go on, as always, to the #1 online bookshop. And you know the one we're talking about. And have a look. Top comment on there is, of course, from me. And basically everything I've told you there is in that review if you want to review the review.
Blackwell's was that bookshop.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, we've got a song coming up here that was requested, and that's Caledonia. I managed to load it up. Should we put it on?
Let's do that. It's one of my favourites.
Duncan loves this one, yeah.
I don't know If you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days, I've been afraid I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs that makes me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, now let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. Whether I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I have moved, and I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, made others on the way. Yes, I kissed a girl, and I left her crying, I broke her heart, yes, there's no denying. Travel far, we my coattails flying, somewhere on the wind. Oh, now let me tell you that I love you, I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I'm sitting here beside the fire, the empty room and the forest choir, the flames that just couldn't get much higher. They've withered, now they're gone. I'm steady thinking that my way is clear, and I know what I must do tomorrow. When the hands have shaken, the kisses flown, I will disappear. Oh, now let me tell you that I love you, I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Oh, now let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
All right, lads. Well, that's me done those recordings for you. I'm up in Chuch, as you can, so obviously pretty basic equipment we've got here, like, but if the locals thought I was posh living in Edinburgh before, Christ knows what they're thinking looking in the window here, me singing songs to folk that there's nobody about. And what a noise, listening back to that without any music going behind it. Jeez, oh. Anyway, I hope it's good enough for you, and I'll see you after the virus, eh?
Caledonia.
Those are glory days.
Who's that guy at the end?
That was
Yeah, he
during
was
It's you,
tough
isn't
times.
it? We have,
Yeah, I was having a hard time, Duncan. It wasn't easy back then.
I know.
Much better now.
Well, we have another first-time watcher, Rebecca Conaroglu, first-time watching live. So do
Hello,
you take
Rebecca.
requests? I've heard someone else sing Poetry Kid. Not sure the spelling that is. That's perfect spelling. Wasn't as good as you, and different words actually. So in a roundabout way, can you sing that? Do
Do
we
we
have a
have the
version
Portree
recorded
kit?
of that?
There's a
You know
really old version, Duncan, with you playing bass guitar.
That.
Oh, with
That's when the one where the
Nigel
amplifier
Kennedy.
goes all underwater in the middle.
No,
The
was
limiter.
it's way back.
Oh, the
It's,
one at the GRV.
yeah, it's black and white. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Should I try and if I download that, is that going to make this stream go weird?
I think so.
Well, we can always say we'll play it next week.
I mean, it's not the
We
best
can actually play it live
representation
next
of
week
us.
because next week we're going to be doing a live. We're actually going to be in the same room performing live next week. So come back and watch that. 'Cause I don't know
Exactly.
if it's
If
easy
you're-
for us to get that track up right now.
If you're new to the stream, of which 2 people are, thanks for coming and come in next time because we're definitely playing live.
It was on. So Rebecca says was on the radio, Alba Radio, live. Your underwater version. So
What's Alba Radio?
I have no idea. Sounds like a radio station for Scotland.
Wow.
Well,
Plus the random break with Nigel Kennedy. So it must be that video then.
Yeah.
the short answer is no.
But
I could
well,
find
not
the
right now.
Nigel Kennedy video. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, it's a possibility. Let me look through my files as we continue through the show.
Well,
David
Jack,
Lee's-
while you're in the archive, Jack, we'll pass back over to Duncan with the drive time viewers, see if there's anything coming through to lighten the spirits on this
Yep.
cold and stormy evening.
David Lee Smith says, Duncan, you played bass? Oh dear. you could
Why don't
say
you play
that.
anymore, Duncan?
Well, let's face it, I was never particularly good at it. And it's massive to carry around. And we started playing unamplified quite a lot. And
Is it
was
not
an
because I
electric
told
bass.
you to stop playing it? Oh, I'm joking.
I don't think so. I think it
Oh,
was mainly because
Bob-
we started playing unplugged. That's my bass there.
Bob
Is it not
Newland.
because you don't have a fucking bass guitar?
You have it. You have it. I'll get it back off you when I move house again.
Bob Newland just sent us £20. Thanks very much, Bob.
Cheers, Bob.
We really appreciate that. So
let's-
maybe Duncan will be able to buy a new bass if we get more money.
I've got one for sale.
I think there's various things that I left at your house probably in the past. Anyhow,
Oh yeah, we can't talk about that on stream.
No, probably not. Ken's pitched in as well. Another informative instruction. I'm happy to learn a new use for wine cask other than scraping it for cream of tartar. There you go. Yeah, use empty wine casks or whatever it was to check for virginity. Moving swiftly on,
As you do, as you
As you
always
do.
check for that
as you
kind
do
of
in
thing.
the second or third, or presumably the 1st century. Assuming that they weren't just written hundreds of years later and completely fabricated.
I'll take it up with Coleridge. Good
Okay.
call.
Okay.
So, yeah, is that all for the comments?
At the moment, yes.
So maybe we
Well, I
should
mean,
get
I
some
really
more.
wanted-
What's
I
that?
really wanted to share with you some history from the late 16th century period here in Scotland, but I guess that can wait. I can tell Jack from your expression that that's not a priority. So I'll bow to your knowledge on this.
Would anyone like to hear a track of our new album?
Yes, me.
I'd love to.
Where
I'd
our,
love to.
one where our singer has a really, really low voice.
Oh, is it Barbara Allen?
Yeah.
Is that must be right at the bottom of your range? Let's hear that. That's one of my favourites.
Here we go, Barbara Allen. It's a bit of an epic, this one. Alright, it's playing. Oh, and I'm still not muted.
was time when the green leaves were a-fallen, that Sir John Graham in the West Country fell in love with Barbara Allen. He sent his men down through the town to the place where she was dwelling. Oh, haste and come to my master dear, can he be Barbara Allen? Holy ho, to the place where he was lying, and when she drew the curtain by, young man, I think that you're dying. And when she drew the curtain by, young man, I think you're dying. I'm sick, got off a sick, and it's all for Barbara Allen. The better for me is never be their hearts, blood's well a-spilling. Oh, dinna you mind, young man, said she, when he was in the tavern drinking, that he made health scan round and round and slighted Barbara Allen. He turned his face unto the wall, and death was with him dealing. Adieu, my dear friends all, and death was we him dealing. Adieu, adieu, my dear friends all, be kind to Barbara Allen. And slowly, slowly rose she up, and slowly, slowly left him. She sighed and said she could not stay, for death of life had reft him. He hadn't gone a mile but twa when she heard the deed bell ringing, and never a chow that the deed bell heed cried, woe to Barbara Allen. Oh, mother, mother, mark my bed, oh, mark it soft and narrow. My love has died for me today, and I'll die for him tomorrow.
Welcome back, folks.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Lovely to have you here. As always, your Friday Night Messiah. Locked, stocked, ready to rock.
Stuart, says David Lee Smith, I'll buy that bass. Give you a $5.
£5 done. Catch me on Extractor Fans. Do the deal there.
And he adds, Coleridge, didn't he write Xanadu on the Farewell to Kings album?
Certainly did. Famous Aberdonian theologist.
Getting some Rush references now.
Indeed. Seriously, you lads add to my quality of life. Thanks. That's also from David Lee Smith. Thank you,
cheers,
David. Stu, you've changed your attire, but Ken had noticed something. He says watching Stu slowly strip down is troubling and a wee bit exciting. What made you get dressed again?
Well, it's just the waves, you know, they come and they go. The highs and the lows, but I composed myself a little bit there for you folks.
Okay, just as well, because he's got a question. He's asking, Auntie Stuart, can you tell us the historical significance of the necktie, other than a bright piece of cloth to point out your danger zone?
For the danger zone, the very long, what's it called again? The treasure trail. But to what treasures? Who knows? I'm not wearing any pants, of course, today. It's on stream. So, the necktie is it's not really an Andy Stewart question. I think you do. I mean, it comes from the cravat, which takes its name from the Croatians in the 17th century, Croat mercenaries that used to wear it, and it became popularized with one of the French Louis. Can't remember which one. 17th century, around the 15th. And from there it develops. I think that was the 30 Years' War in the 17th century. From there, the cravat develops into what we have today as the necktie. I'm not entirely sure the name where necktie is going to come from. There was some story of a rush for a French king or general to appear at a battlefield, and he couldn't get ready quick enough. So instead of wearing it as a cravat, it was just kind of tied loosely around his neck, and presumably it comes from that. But do you think they believe that, Duncan? Or
I mean, we rehearsed that before to
Ken says it's the ultimate I'm with stupid arrow now, isn't it?
Very popular with David Carradine. He always liked the necktie.
Aye. There's a few of them. Michael Hutchins as well.
Yeah, he loved the necktie.
David Lee Smith's asking, do you do a version of Sunshine on Leith?
We did it for someone's wedding once, but they wanted it. Yeah, we did it then.
Victoria and Al, I believe, was their wedding. Yeah.
I do remember it back in the mist of time.
I think that's the only time I've ever played it. So we have played it.
I think so.
Done it
I think it's the only time. He apologises to me because he knows I'm a jambo. But that's alright, I don't mind singing.
Would you have done it?
songs.
Would you have played it if you were there at that gig, Duncan?
I was there, wasn't I?
I don't think so. I think it was
No,
Archie.
you were sunning it up in Hawaii or something, or in Reno, I think, at the time.
I'm sure I would have done it. I'm not a snob or a bigot.
I'm not doing that. Well, I've just been looking through the archives, and I just got the okay from Gorms HQ to play. I haven't
Really
even
old
listened to
song.
this, but I found a recording of us in 2008. At one of our first gigs, we played a place called the Canonsgate, and I recorded some of these tunes. This is called The Pub With No Beer. We don't even really play this song.
We haven't played this one for years, but I mean, I'm interested to hear what it's going to sound like.
I think you get
If
like
it's from
the
that age.
you're going to get the proto Gorms sound here.
Proto-Gorms.
Let's
Let's give
Stu's
this a listen.
voice
I'm
is
intrigued.
like
This is an old
Luke
Australian
Kelly.
song, eh?
Is it Australian?
I think it's Australian, aye.
Alright, anyway, here we go, folks. Pub With No Beer from 2008 in one of our first gigs. So it's probably terrible, but it's a historical
document.
Yeah, artifact. So here you go.
An Australian song, this one, about the dreaded scenario when the pub has suddenly no beer left. Cheers. Oh yeah, starts with the intro. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, it's a long time away from your kindred and all, when the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call. Well, there's nothing so dreadful, so terribly drear, as I stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. There's a faraway look on the face of the bum, while the maid's gone all cranky, look for the crumb. Well, the public is anxious, the maid's acting queer, but a terrible place is a pub with no beer. I'm a stockman right up with a dry dusty throat. He puts up to the bar, pulls a wad from his coat, but the smile on his face, it turns to a sneer when the barman says sorry, the pub's got no beer. There's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, when the boss is inside, drinking wine with his mates. Well, he hurries for cover, and he scurries in fear, what a terrible place is a pub with no beer. And old Billy the blacksmith, first time in his life, he's come home stone sober to his darling wife. Well, she calls from the kitchen, "You're home early, dear," and he breaks down and cries, says the pub had no beer. Well, it's a long time away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night where the wild dingoes call. Well, there's nothing so dreadful, so terribly drear, as I stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Hey. Right, killy cracky.
Wow, that was a blast for the past. Loved the accent, man. I forgot you did that.
Aye, to be sure.
Is that Stu's Irish cousin?
O'Shea.
Seamus Cook.
Seamus Cook.
Well, folks, I do hope very much you enjoyed that. Duncan, how are we doing with the Gormlings and the conversation?
Well, Caroline Lee Smith says, "Great music, keep it coming."
Cheers, Caroline.
And David says, "Auntie Stewart, I've been thinking of the existential nature of life and the troubles we have with death, meaning ultimate aloneness and free will. Which is to say, could you please tell me why we are all here?"
That's a pretty deep question.
It's a deep question. It's one I get quite a lot, though. Again, not really an Andy Stewart question, but nevertheless, a dinky do. You know, in the concept of the traditional metaphysical idealists, if you're feeling concerned and worried about these things, often you turn to the idea of the simulation. You know, a lot of people, they find this a nihilistic approach. But if you remember the fact that all you're wearing is really just a suit, if you like, a way of you interpreting and understanding the world around you, you know, movements on a radar screen, you know, blips coming and going, appearing, disappearing. I mean, they're not airplanes, but they are airplanes. But we don't see in radar, you know. If those blips go away, the radar screen turns off, well, the airplanes are still there. And if you think of yourself just as a very advanced sort of radar screen, you know, you're seeing things going around, you see sort of normal spiritual characters like my brothers here. And then occasionally you see glowing Kalipa, like myself. Well, when you stop seeing those things, they don't go away, you know? And the question, of course, is, well, where do you go? Well, the radar screen is still there. The technology is still there. So you should never feel alone. Is that? I hope that was a good answer there for the.
I don't know. He followed it
You
up
do.
with Seamus Cook, more like Shameless Cook.
Forget it. Forget it.
I thought it was beautiful, Stu. It was very Trumpian.
Trumpian. He's got a great golf course up in Balmady.
Aye. Ken says, the purpose of mankind was to invent plastic and overwhelm the earth with it. And centuries hence, under heat and pressure, it will transform into jewels of unsurpassed beauty that aliens can mine for their engagement rings.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I love that.
There we go. That's David says, thanks, Stuart. That's that sorted out. So we're all happy.
Get that cleared up.
I mean, to be honest, I thought the reason we were all here is because it's Saturday night and it's transplanted Gorms night.
That is not wrong.
We're all here for mince patter and some music.
So what's the football match that's coming on at 8?
That's Spain and Poland.
I suppose we better finish before that.
The other game's already finished, I think. Germany and Portugal.
So we've not really had any Germans in tonight.
What a score! Well, that's probably because we're watching the football. we changed the time and date of the stream to the wrong football match. It should have been later. Never mind. Never mind. They can watch it tomorrow or later on after the football's finished.
It's a good
You can
plan.
watch it on repeat.
You could. We've still never made a gourmet reel yet.
The Gourmet Supercut is coming soon. If you can make your way through that whole thing, you get a badge of honour.
I will deliver it personally to whichever mental institution you land in.
Well, Jack, I know you gotta get out and water the plants. So do you want to do another track off of the out of the catalogue, and then we'll come back and wrap this up?
Let's do that. So, should we finish on a ballad?
Finish on a ballad?
Never finish on a ballad. Yes.
But what if
you
that
always
ballad...
finish on a ballad after you've played the really fast one, so that it makes everybody go away.
What if that ballad is Blow the Candle Out?
Oh, that's one of my favourites.
I mean, this is one that is a very rare gem in the Gorms back catalogue. But a true Gormling, this one's up there, quite high up on their list of favourites.
Was this on the first album?
It is. It's one of those ones that we said we wished we'd left till later to record because it's
and done a better version of it.
Aye.
Well, we can still do a better live version.
We can always be better. All of us watching this stream right now. I think that's a good moral of the story.
Aye, some beautiful profundities from all, as Caroline says.
Here's Blow the Candle Out.
Apprentice boy in Newton went one night to see his dear. About the hour of 12 o'clock, the moon was shining clear. He rapped at his love's chamber door to rise and let him in. His love, she rose and let him in, then went to bed again. Your father and your mother, love, do both in one bed lie, embracing another love. How wouldn't you and I? him and cherish him and set him on your knee. And when 12 months are over, I'll swear my time is out, and I'll come back and marry you for blowing the candle out. As true as I said, and she had a son she called for me. She nourished him and cherished him and set him on her knee. But when 12 months were over, I thought my time was out. But they've doubled my indenture for blowing the candle out. Come all you that are prentice boys, all one and take by me. If ever you go out at late, your sweetheart for to see. For if you do as I have done, you need not be in doubt. They'll double your indenture for blowing the candle out.
And we're back.
Beautiful.
Tremendous.
Beautiful. Did you know, according to David Lee Smith, there's a Killiecrankie diamond, very expensive, named after a wee cove in South Africa?
Wow.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. I knew that there was diamonds in South Africa, but not wee coves called Killiecrankie. That surprises me somewhat. But there you go.
Great fact.
Thank you for that, David.
So I hope you enjoyed Blow the Candle out there. Nice wee change of pace. I think our last song for the night that was.
Well, it's
Yeah.
getting towards that time where
It
we
is
have
indeed.
to go back to the Bing.
Anything but that.
Bravo, says Ken, tossing roses on the stage. Thank you, thank you.
So, please tune in next week, next Friday at 8, the normal time. We'll do a normal stream. It's always a normal stream with the Gorms, but
Three of us in a room playing music together,
yeah, like old times.
like the good old days.
And yes, hopefully you have a good week. To all the Gormlings out there.
Yeah, have a good week. Get your copy of the new CD if that's what you've been waiting on, because it has arrived finally. We'll see you next week. Any final words of wisdom from the Friday Night Messiah?
Well, all I can say is it's been your pleasure to meet me this evening, and I hope wherever you are, you stay healthy and you try to bring more people into the fold. Remember, they try to push us apart, but we should really try to make those bridges and not burn them down. Nobody's perfect. Well, some are perfect, but not everybody. And those that are lost, they only want a little bit of help. So as always, from the Friday Night Messiah and his faithful disciples, we leave you these parting words of wisdom. Stay out of trouble. Don't talk to the police officers. And if you absolutely have to, the only thing you need to say is, I need to speak to my lawyer. That's all I've got for you guys. I hope you have a great week. As always, check us out on YouTube. Look for us on Facebook. Extractor fans, Tinder and Grindr. We're always very active on both of those, or three of those. Bandcamp is where you can buy the records.
You can also listen to songs that we play by other people on Spotify.
And Alba Radio, apparently we're on that, so.
Gun, I think that's it. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it, says, Had a good time, thanks. Enjoy the football game. Hope the correct team wins, whichever that is. We'll see. I mean, what would you prefer for this next game?
In the next game, it makes no difference to us whatsoever.
Ken Longfellow says, thanks, mates. It's been a true pleasure to see you again. You too. David Lee Smith says, thanks. Caroline says, yay for next Friday. Yeah, we hope to see you there. Eileen Mullen says, looking forward to next week already. And Daniel Spee says, enjoy the rest of the weekend all. Till next week. And that's it.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you both soon.
See you later.
Cheerio, cheery.